Namaste docen, applicação HTML our. Sorry the mess, I didn't have time. Today going to keep on reading the Gita from where we stopped. It's going to be chapter 3, 23 till 25. Hi Kenu, how are you? Ready to read with me the Gita? Yes, Karma Yoke. In the previous life, you read till 21. Now I'm going to read till 25. This is the Gita from Sono Condenando. As everybody know, I always read this one. There you will learn about karma. Yes. Sorry the noise. It's the neighbors in the streets. But I think you guys can hear me well, right? So let's start it. There is no duty for me to perform in all the three words, O Partha, nor have I anything to gain or achieve. Yet I am engaged in prescribed duties. For if I did not carefully perform the prescribed duties, O Partha, all men would follow my path in every respect. If I failed to perform the prescribed actions, all these words would perish. I would be responsible for the pandemonium that would prevail and thus destroy the peace of the human race. Just as the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to the results, all descendants of Bharat, the wise would act without attachment to guide people on the right path. The term karma has become a very common term all over the world, but a very small amount of people know the term karma is from Gita. Yes, many people don't know the real meaning of karma, the real concept, just become a trend word, a simple word. For example, here in Brazil, I always hear the people talk about karma. If it was something like a god, a way of God make you pay for something bad, simple like that. And we know that it's not just about this because it's very common here in the Western. People take things from India, Native America, some old spiritual traditions and do and commercialize like if it was something simple, something quickly. People don't want to go deep and know where all this came from, the real meaning of this word, of this concept. We live in a generation where people want everything so quickly, so superficial. Because if you want to really go deep in something, you need to study. You need to study a lot. You need to meditate a lot. It's not an easy path. That's why people don't go ever. The same thing with yoga. Most people in Western countries think yoga is an exercise to lose weight, to become more flexible, or just to relax. But you know that yoga don't have nothing to do with just some movements. It's not like this. Something more deep. It's a whole lifestyle that includes the way you think, the way you move your body, the way you connect yourself with the spiritual world. Is something much more deeper, such so important to really understand. So it's really sad to see how here not just here in the Western, but many countries see just yoga, tantra, karma, dharma like something superficial, something just common words. It becomes something without many importance. Namaste. Namaste. Allah, que cerró. I'm going to read the other chapter. The chapter, the chapter 3, 26, sloka 26. The wise should not create discord in the intellects of the ignorant, who are attached to fruitive actions, by inducing them to stop working. Rather, by performing their duties in an enlightened manner, they should inspire the ignorant to also perform their prescribed duties. This is something important, it's not that simple. Hi, Kaidan. Hare Krishna. Hi, Nitesh. Namaste. 27. All activities are performed by the three modes of material nature. But in ignorance, the soul, deluded by false identification with the body, thinks of itself as the doer. O might armed Arjuna, the enlightened ones distinguish the soul from the gunas and karmas. They realize that it's only the gunas in the form of the sense mind and others that move between the gunas in the form of the objects and perception, and therefore they do not become entangled in them. Those who are deluded by the action of the gunas become attached to the results of their actions. But wise men who understand this truth should not disturb such ignorant people who know very little. This is also something really important to understand when Krishna says to not disturb other people, because sometimes when you have some knowledge, want to spread this knowledge, we always think the others need to the noise. Um, you should inspire others and feel that you need to teach others, be an example. But when someone doesn't want to learn, doesn't matter what we say, they will not listen. That's why, as we read in the previous life, it's more important to show them a good example. Your life showed a good example of your spiritual dharma, your spiritual life. Just your words not enough. Someone that is ignorant, they don't have the feeling of learning more. They think they are already right. They think they don't need these states, everything bullshit. So instead of insist and try to force them something, you need to act in a way that our lives become an example. They can see the results. Can you guys understand? Sorry. So our life should be an example. Krishna says that we need to perform our duties without paying too much attention in the results, without being attached. They need to follow our own dharma, not other people's dharma. And what great man does, other men will follow. That's why we need to be example for our words, our actions, our mind, and people you see, people you follow. Basically, this. I say that I'm going to read till 25, but I already read till 29 because it's really quickly those slokas. I don't know if I keep reading or it's enough for you guys understand. In the sloka 30, he says, performing all work as an offering to me, constantly meditate on me as the supreme. Free yourself from desire and egoism. And with your mental pain removed, fight. And this sloka is teach us the most important thing. When you do all your actions with the mentality that this is a sacrifice, this is a sacred work, this is the real yoga, the real karma yoga. You need to keep in our mind that everything that we do, our karma, is a service. And if you do this with the divine mindset, it's what's going to make the difference in your life. It's what's going to make us live the spiritual way, living our dharma properly. If you want to be free from all the desires and all the ego, you need to remember this word and do what Krishna is talking here. Do our work in the present, not focusing what's going to happen in the future, because the future do not exist. The past do not exist. What exists is the present, the thing that we are doing now. And the result is going to be just a consequence. Doesn't matter if it's good or not, it's just a consequence. Our ego makes us think that the problem, our ego makes us think in the consequence, the result, what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, if things is going to work or not. And we start to become worried, we start to have fear, angry, and when the results are not what we are expecting, we become sad, we become disappointed, and we become angry. That's why you should not pay attention to the result, because the result is just a consequence of our actions. We need to do the best we can now in the present moment. That's why you need to pay attention our words, our mentality, our actions, because you need to act in the best way that you can, as if it was everything a service to Krishna himself, because it is. So you need to do the best as you can according to your dharma. Don't pay attention to the others, pay attention to your dharma. So sorry that I will leave my father's house. Okay. Hello, Frimlinge. So Krishna in this verse 30, he says everything. Do all your action, do your karma as a service to me. Because it is. If you do everything with this mind that you are doing a sacred work, your life is sacred. Your actions are sacred. This life is a divine opportunity. It's a divine moment to you remember who you really are and be connected with the Brahman. So we should always keep this in our mind. Follow our own dharma as a sacred ritual, because this is what make us go home. This is what going to make we lost our ego, our desires, our anxious, our anxiety. Simple like this. I think after this I don't need to say anything else. Krishna already said everything. You just need to meditate on it. Because sometimes we hear something, but it's like do not fix in our mind. That's why you need to meditate, read and reread and reflect as much as we can to fix this in our heart, in our mind. And one day this will become our natural way of being, of living. Got it? So basically for today, that's it. This is the most important message. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with me. Thursday going to be here again to read the other slokas. See you in the next video. Firmly again.